Okay, hello everybody, and hello, good morning, Anita.
Good morning.
Today we're gonna talk about the full moon in Aries, way more births during the full moon or right after the full moon. And also Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. Aries is the fire of chaos. When you give birth, when in the process of labor, we go through different rhythms. The first one being the rhythm of the water, and we will talk more about that in other videos. Right? So we start with the rhythm of the water, and then we go into the rhythm of the earth, and then we go into the fire of chaos, wild, chaotic fire of part of the verse when the baby's coming out. And I would love to hear the story of your experience around that.
I've been laboring for about 12 hours and I was stuck at 1 centimeter for a long time. And then finally, I got to the point where I could push, and my doctor would not let me birth in the water, which I really wanted to. I felt compelled to birth in the water. And there was a tub in my room, and she was worried about liability, so she wouldn't let me birth in the tub. And then she wouldn't let me squat when I was pushing.
Mm.
So I ended up pushing for about an hour and a half, and I was completely exhausted and drained, and I thought I had nothing left to give. And I was in that chaos of just no control, and fear started rising up, and I felt like I couldn't do it. And my doctor suggested that I reach down and feel the baby's head crowning. And so I did, and I could feel the very tip of his head and a little bit of hair. And then I was inspired to keep pushing and to keep going through that ring of fire, through that portal. And
Tell me a little bit more about that ring of fire.
it just felt literally a burning sensation. So sorry. It literally felt like a burning sensation
Mm.
in a ring.
Mm.
And that's the moment when I felt the chaos and the surrender, because
Mm.
there's no way back. You have to just go through.
Mm-hmm.
And then I
Mm-hmm.
felt ecstatic and
Mm.
energized. I don't
Mm.
know if it was an orgasmic birth, but
Mm.
I felt a huge sense of relief and release
Mm.
and calm after the storm.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so that ring of fire, I mean, if whoever have given birth without anesthesia, there's a
Mhm.
point where I hear them saying, "Oh, but it's burning, it's burning." It's really a ring of fire, that it's like this like portal is the door out, So we need to open the door for the baby to come through. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about that energy of fire and chaos, because the fire is the energy of the chi, is the life energy. So when you come to the planet, to this planet, to this dimension, you are entering, the matter, and you need the chi, you need that energy. So that's the part of the verse that it, like every part of the verse, but this is when the baby, it's a ritual of initiation. I will do a video around what is the experience of the baby coming. Because we talk a lot about the experience of the mother in the birth, and many things, never enough. And we need to talk about is the experience of the baby who is inside the belly, going through the tunnel and coming closer, closer, closer to the exit. We will do a video on that because it's very important to have that awareness. If you're pregnant, you're going to give birth, and you and your partner and everybody around has the awareness of the experience of the baby. So in this part, where is the exit, there's different aspects of it. First, for the mother, we've been like going building up energy. We've been building up energy, and yes, oftentimes it's like right before the birth, they're exhausted. Oh, I cannot make it, you know. So in the preparation to birth, it's very important to also have the awareness that you are, with each contraction, you are coming closer to an explosion that can be an orgasmic explosion if you know and trust the process, and if you surrender. If you surrender, you lose control because you come into trance and completely open up. Because when you get closer to orgasm, if you want to get into the orgasm, you really have to say yes, open up
I
completely.
think what helped me get into that trance-like state during contractions, I was counting in my mind, and then also moaning, a deep belly moan that felt like it was opening my body,
Oh,
using
yes.
sound to open the body.
Yes. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, the voice is like so empowering. Oh my God. Yes. And in my personal experience as a doula, when every contraction is bringing me closer to the orgasm, times so when they were doing their contractions, they were looking for that.
Mm-hmm.
They were looking. So that makes a big difference because wherever you put your attention is what is going to happen. No? So if you know that you're coming closer to the biggest orgasm of your life, your contractions are way more effective.
Mm.
You are looking for, like, you are consciously breathing through each contraction to come closer to that. So you're focusing on opening instead of controlling and fear and holding back and contracting, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think the word contraction is the opposite of the, I need to find another word because contraction is like, it is a contraction. Your muscles along the belly are contracting to bring the baby down. But it's not a contraction of the exit.
That's true. It's an opening.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So with each contraction, you come closer. So if you have that feeling or that knowing, just the knowing that, oh, it's a contraction, so you welcome the contraction first. So, but sometimes, like, there's still we've been filled up so much with fear around birth and stories, so many stories for hundreds of years. It's amazing. So when sometimes, like, we kind of block, or we don't have energy anymore, and or like the pushing takes forever, you know. When that happens, I tell the woman, get mad, scream.
Yeah, the fire energy.
Yes. scream, like when you lose control and you start screaming because you're so angry,
Yeah.
just do that. Scream. I want to hear you scream. I want to hear
I'm
how angry you are because it's
That's what it took finally for that last push was a good scream.
yes. And of course, I was working in Venezuela where we are very emotional and we express a lot, so it works fantastic, but you can just make sound. I mean, there's like for other women it's going to be a sound like more centered and more calm, but it's the sound the sound brings down the baby, and you are
Yes.
really in fear and losing control. Just transform this, fear or depression also are states where we don't allow emotion. And if we don't allow emotion, we don't allow energy. When somebody is depressed or in a lot of fear, that we don't have the energy moving anymore. Or we don't have energy because depression is the no emotion. So no motion of energy. That's what it is. So the first, like the best way to get out of there is to use the energy of fire. Get out of there is to use the energy of fire. So that's I love the image of the ring of fire because we know that birth for the baby, it's a ritual for each one of us. We were born, and that's a ritual of passage.
And it
Many
looks like an eclipse. When you
looks
think
like
of the ring of an eclipse, you look at
yes,
the
yes,
ring of fire.
right, like an annular eclipse. It's a wonderful image, by the way, Anita. Thank you, because for the baby inside that tunnel, he doesn't know how much is left for him to push because he's also pushing. And he doesn't know if he's going to make it because he needs to get out of there and breathe to be alive. And he doesn't know how much. So he's going in, like the feeling is like he's going through a void. So that ring of fire is going to take him out to life. For getting through that, he's in that like hole. That's why it's very important also for the parents and doulas and midwives and everybody around to know about this process because it's a ring of fire for the mother giving birth and you really feel the burning, and it's also going through the ring of fire for the baby. So let me explain a little bit also on the hormonal level because through the contractions we are the baby is filling up with the hormone of love, which is oh my god, I have a blank
Oxytocin?
word. Oxytocin.
Oxytocin?
Yes. So that's the hormone in the process, and the baby, because the mother is creating all this oxytocin, the baby is being filled up with oxytocin through the whole process. So it's building up, building up, building up. And so when the baby just exits, so the mother can have an orgasm, you know. And if you know that you're going there, it's easier to feel it. Uh, but right when the baby comes out, its first experience, it's an explosion of oxytocin. So he's having this orgasm. And that is so very important because coming to the world with an orgasm is going to make him fall in love with life. If you fall in love with life completely, you are going to be ready to embrace life completely. You are going to be ready to unfold all your potential as a being. You are going to have your chi running through you freely. So you're going to have so much energy. You're going to be a being that is so full of energy and most probably very passionate about life and about everything we do in life because that it's an orgasm. So that's on purpose. We want to come to the world and fall in love and want to be part of this because here we are co-creating life with Mother Earth. It's a co-creation. And you can see that in many cultures, how they have this awareness. And the native Indian people here in the US, they talk about that, they teach that the earth is not creating on her own, nature and all of that. He wants to co-create with us. And we want to co-create with her. We don't want to dominate and control her. We want to have a co-creation of on the planet. That, that's the amazing relation we have with our mother. So a being that comes to the world and is respected. So here we are. The baby just came out. We get into the world. What does that mean? We respect that moment. It's like everything stops and we allow this being fully, fully live that orgasm with no interruption. We let him have a moment, you know, and absorb. And even physically, and we can talk about that also in the video, the baby needs a moment because he comes with he's covered with a necessity. And it's very important for the body to reabsorb that. Very, very important. So let him have his experience. You don't want to be in the middle of an orgasm or somebody is like, hey, come here. That it makes the whole difference. And it's because you are going to live from your own power. You completely trust the process of life. You are completely present in this life. And also, it's a victory. We made it through, this, like if you look at it as a ritual, made it. You are alive. You came to the world. You made it. Because let me tell you, this baby, the mother has been going through all the contractions and everything, okay? Lots of energy. But the baby has been doing his job inside the belly and pushing and doing his work too. He made it. It's a victory.
An initiation.
It's an initiation. It's an initiation. And you can see also in many cultures how uh, they have rituals of initiations. In the next step, which is becoming a man or a woman, they go through a process of initiation because you're going from being a child to be a man. and it comes at the time of the hormonal transformation, So yes, in many cultures, there's those rituals again that are probably much easier than the process of birth.
Thinking maybe you could explain or go into more about the orgasmic experience itself, what that is and why it's so important.
It's so important, like I said, for the child because he's going to fall in love with life. We can talk about the orgasm for the mother, part of creating a bond, at least with the first, the first time you give birth. It's also a ritual of initiation.
Can you talk more about, on a spiritual, energetic level, what that experience is?
Orgasm is when the other side is the womb where all the possibilities of life resides, and there's a cosmic one. So it's all the possibilities of creation. It says in the beginning was the Word, God, and the Word was God, and how the sound creates a vibration, and that vibration manifests the reality. Tension, a certain vibration manifesting in something specific. So that's the male side, that the creator, and then so that's the one. Let's say that's the one. In the beginning was the woman. Before the beginning was the zero. And the zero included the one that has all the possibilities of creation, infinite impossibilities of creation. It's the goddess, the container of all possibilities, aspects of God. So when religions say, they talk about what we call God, we call it the unnamed. I listen to the scientists explaining that from the point of view of science or mathematics. Zero is a number or no number. God separated from himself to be able to create. And every creation is like a big bang, a big explosion of love. And love wants to express. When you are in love, when you feel love, you want to express it. You want to express it through art, because art is the expression of creativity, or you want to express it making love, which is the coming together of the he into the she, again, to the oneness and melt into the whole. So we are going to talk about sacred sexuality. So we went from birth to conception, but
Yes,
we're
it's
going to
going to be
make
really exciting diving deeper into the orgasmic experience and sacred sexuality.
yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. If anybody has a question, please like the video, make a comment, and we can go from there. I hope this was helpful. The most important part is that if you are having your first baby, please, please, please prepare. Prepare if you can find a doula or a group. If you have questions and you want to know more about it, please contact us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me today, Joelle. And I look forward to more conversations around pregnancy and orgasmic birth.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I want to thank my son for bringing you to my life, and a gift to meet you and to be part of the same family. It's so fantastic.